So I'm so glad to be here, and I really appreciate the invitation. I'm a huge fan of Orlando. Most of my money goes down there for all of our vacations, so thanks a lot for that. I wanted to bring our business to you and present today. I presented in Charleston, and I'm going to be presenting at a few other 1 Million Cups, but I'm so completely aligned with your organization. I attend to the Charleston meetings. When you all talk about how you educate, engage, and connect, that's exactly what we do at Appreciated Assets. So I'm really excited to share with you about our business. Okay, so a little bit about me. I launched this business in 2018 after a lot of experience in business development. I've really spent my entire career in some sort of sales or marketing role. And during that time, I developed an expertise in strategizing, implementing training, specifically in cold calling and appointment setting services, which is kind of a unique niche for this time in most sales efforts. So we developed a program called our Sales Accelerator, where we offer a concierge level done for you appointment setting service that gets new business appointments for our clients with their prospect wish list. A little bit about me. I'm originally from Boston, but I live in Charleston now with my son, Max. We travel, like I said, quite a bit down to you. Thanks for that. And we pretty much like to do anything on the water. I've been loving this early spring, summer weather that we've been getting. All right, so current situation for most clients when they come speak with us is that they've grown their business through word of mouth and referral. And that is a fabulous way to grow your business up until a certain level. But what we tend to see is once you hit a certain level in your business, typically somewhere near that 6 to low multi-six-figure mark, that starts to teeter out. And word of mouth and referral starts to teeter out for two different reasons. Usually people have elevated the type of clients that they serve at that time of their growth. And also to get to the next stage of their growth, they need to try something new. And a lot of people that we've worked with have tried a lot of different types of things, the funnels and the AdWords, again, referrals and word of mouth. And look, guys, frankly, I've grown a bunch of my business that way as well. They do the DMs on LinkedIn, landing pages, and then there's that endless content hamster wheel, right? Reels and blogs, and now with the LinkedIn newsletters, multiple social platforms, and there's always more that can be done for that content creation. But what's still not happening is new business appointments with the ideal leads and a consistent pipeline that's filled with new opportunities. And then a lot of times what we hear with businesses that are getting closer towards retirement, that they're just going to close up. They're not interested in creating a sellable asset for themselves. They're just going to walk away from their business. And we can assist with businesses in that situation as well. So our solution at Appreciated Asset is we have a program called our Sales Accelerator, where we're going to create, build, and fill your sales pipeline. We work consultatively. So what sets us apart is that we are disruptors in the industry by working consultatively for our clients. We don't call from your business, pitching you, selling you, pretending we work for you. That's really out of alignment for us. Instead, we reach out to your prospect wish list and we set new business appointments consultatively. We educate people about who you are, the value that you bring, the success metrics that you've seen. But really what we do is we show your ideal prospects how you are disruptive, how you are different from anyone else in the marketplace in the way that you deliver, in the way that you serve your prospects. During our onboarding process for our clients, we take them through an exercise called our Disruptor Designer. Because what we realized last year is that a lot of the businesses that we work with, the ones we got the best results for were all disruptive in their own industries, just like we are. But what we realized is there's a lot of businesses out there who maybe want to be disruptive, but they don't know how, or they already are disruptive. They're just not being bold enough with that messaging. We all tend to be super humble when it comes to giving our own messaging about our businesses. So what we do during our onboarding process with our clients is we create what we call our Disruptor Designer, which is a series of messaging exercises where we take our clients through to find out really what it is that sets them apart from the competition. From there, we create a script that's like a choose your own adventure script, where we help your prospects self-identify their worry points as well as their objections before they have a chance to raise them. And when we do this, we really change the vibration and the whole energy of that conversation from like a weird sales volley back and forth with objections and rebuttals to just objections and responses. And it really changes the way that conversation flows. We also, during our onboarding process, help our clients identify who their ideal prospects are, and we come up with that list of the targeted prospects that we are going to go after. During our launch, we do a lot of training with our team about the scripts and the process and your service. And then we go through a series of modifications. But knowing what those modifications are really depends on the data that comes in for our first few rounds of calls. So we monitor what's happening in the campaign from very early on, because our goal is to get a quick start for our clients. And if we need to change a list to the decision makers that we're reaching out to, or the industries that we're reaching out to, or make adjustments to the messaging itself, we will make all those modifications during our launch month. And then we go into maintenance. And what that looks like is consistent lead evolution, where sometimes we start with, one ideal lead, and that may evolve throughout time. We may be able to expand out that net as we go and gain results in certain areas of the market. And then again, just keeping that consistent pipeline filled with new opportunities for our clients month after month. So that's who we are and what we do. And in terms of specific support that I'm looking for today, we are about to redo our website. Right now, our website is pretty vague about this specific service. And the reason it has been really to protect the integrity of what it is that we do, so that when we do make calls, someone Googles us, they're not saying, oh, well, you're just being paid to call for them. Because in truth, we are paid for the service, and we only take on clients that we are truly recommending. So there is a vetting process to make sure that we are accepting clients that have solutions we can truly get behind. So I'd love a little bit of, feedback about how to best go about that messaging on the website so that we are clear in integrity, but also not alienating any opportunities for our clients. Oh, thanks.
So Jennifer, I'll ask the first question, and that is, do you only service the Charleston area, or do you have other places?
Thank you. Sorry for, I will clarify. We work with clients nationwide. We also have, currently we have 5 international clients as well, helping them expand their US-based clients.
Constructive criticism. Don't read what you put on the board. We can all read it, explain it. That's the first one. The second one, you didn't say how. Who, what, when, why, but no how. How do you make them get more clients?
Sure. So we have a concierge level done for you cold calling service where we set new business points for our clients with their prospect wish list. We work on 50 active prospects at a time for our clients. And basically we'll rotate in fresh leads as we go through and move our clients to different stages of the pipeline. Our goal obviously is to set new business appointments for this week, next week, this month, next month, but then we are also creating a futures pipeline for our clients. And what that looks like is sometimes, someone is, I love this, but I'm leaving for Europe for 3 weeks, call me back on April 1st. Or I love this, but budget's spent, call me back Q3. So when we get to those dates, we're going to be moving those leads back up into the active lead system, reaching out to them in exact the timeline that that we've set for them.
How do you charge? Is it fee based or what? Or
We are, yes, we work on a monthly fee for our service.
Hey Jennifer, this is Jonathan Montour from Successful. I added you on LinkedIn. We can talk about your website, but I'm more interested in your business model. So there's been a lot of conversation about lead and lead generation kind of being a dirty word.
Yeah.
In terms of your lead generation, how do you define it? Because the startups that I work with, and as for myself, we have developed kind of an in-depth lead scoring model. We have an ICP, we have buyer personas. Is this something that you take into account when you're deploying? And also, is this something that you build out for clients when you're onboarding?
The answer is yes, and. So there are some times that we will work with a new client and they know exactly who that targeted lead list is in terms of they will have the actual Excel spreadsheet to hand over to us. There's other times where they know very specifically who their target is, but then there's also times where we work with them to very specifically figure out who that target is through a series of demographic as well as psychographic qualifications that we go through, because we find that both are equally important when really finding the right leads. It's really not about, for us, for our specific campaign, finding a list of thousands that are appropriate for that client, but finding a list of just a few hundred that are really, really going to be the most lucrative for them. You know, what we can basically do is we are able to complement existing marketing campaigns and lead generation activities, again, with a super targeted approach. And this is what I typically tell clients. Give me the list of 50 that you know if you are in front of them, you have the right solution. You just need the FaceTime. We all have that list in our head. We all know who those people are. If I'm just in front of these guys, I know that I have the right solution. And those are the ones that we want to be calling on. And we use cold calling. I missed this and I apologize. This is really important. The reason we use cold calling is because it is the fastest, most effective way to develop rapport with your prospect wish list. There's a lot of other ways to create top of mind awareness, to create visibility for yourself. But cold calling, direct outreach is going to be the fastest way to get to that next step for an appointment with that client.
Tim, and then Bob.
Hi, Jennifer. Tim Ricky here. Have you got the examples on your website of a journey you've taken with a client?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Do you have any stories about clients on your website that shows us the journey you took with them?
No, but I certainly have been putting some case studies together. And that's certainly something that I was planning on using simply for social, but I could certainly put that on the website. We do have a testimonial video that we have, and we're about to launch our second one with client testimonials and stories about working with us.
Bob.
Do you leave a voicemail if they're not present?
We do, and we have a series of voicemails that we leave. But the great thing is because we're calling from appreciated asset as opposed to your business, we are the one filling up that voicemail box if that's the case. We go for 8 touch points via the phone before we go over to an email campaign. And then we have about a 50% capture rate on that email campaign once we go that way. But it's alarming how many times someone will pick up the phone on the 7th or 8th try and book an appointment with us like they'd never heard from us before.
All right. Time for one more question.
Hey Jennifer, Success. My last question for you is what typical deal size and industries do you guys penetrate the most? I understand that a lot of lead gen agencies are agnostic, but when we're talking about deal sizes, 10K plus in the tech sector, startup, right around or between $1 million, $10 million MRR. Do you have experience and exposure to those kind of deals and sizes?
I do. Thank you. Yes. So our ideal clients are B2B service-based businesses, coaches, consultants, and also, and this just developed in the last 6 months, but home services has been phenomenally successful for us, helping them build out their commercial business. So for example, a pressure washer, rather than calling on residential homes, we'd be reaching out to property managers, apartment complexes, commercial buildings, things like that. So that's been incredibly lucrative and an area that we're really seeing some fast growth in. So B2B service-based businesses, businesses that are growing and looking to continue to grow with, a strong trajectory. Businesses that yield a minimum of $10,000 in annual revenue when they sign a new business client. And hitting these metrics really shows an incredibly strong ROI from our efforts. So that's where we found the really sweet spot. Ideally, the businesses we work with are hitting at least 300,000 in annual revenue, but really our ideal minimum is about 500,000 in annual revenue for us to move forward to work together for a contract. And then businesses that are disruptive or want to be. That's really that psychographic that is the best aligned client for us, for businesses who really want to stand apart from the crowd.
So then the final question is, what can we as a community do for you?
Well, again, like any feedback, I've left my contact information. I can put it in the chat as well. So I'd welcome the opportunity for any one-on-ones, for any feedback from the presentation, but also, like I said, creating this messaging for our new website is really important because I want to help us expand our reach. At the same time, I want to maintain the integrity of the campaigns that we're setting forth for our clients. And it's a really fine line that we're walking. So I would love any feedback from any marketing professionals and how to handle that best. And then anyone who would fit, our ideal that's looking to grow their business, we would love to talk about how we might be able to support you in your growth.
Okay, great. If you would drop your contact information into the Zoom chat, that way people on Zoom can get it. And then if anybody wants to get it, contact me after the meeting and I'll send you the chat and we'll get that going.
Thank you so much.
Share the screen.
Let me try something really quick.
Yes.
One last attempt to kick this thing into submission.
Heard that.
No. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Still not working.
We have a lot.
All right, and so next, we're gonna hear from Justin of Tacbotz. He's gonna come and update us on what they have been doing in the last 6 or 8 months. Right.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm one of the co-founders of Turbo FinTech, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Tacbotz. So just to give you guys a little bit of context on what we do, please ignore how tech is so blurry. But to give you guys a little bit of context about what we do, we on the surface level, we create software that helps people trade better in things like the stock market, bonds, foreign exchange, cryptocurrency. So we make software that makes trading those kinds of things easier. But our bottom line is really, we're just trying to help people. We're just trying to help people maybe make some passive income through money markets like these, so that they can buy some time back in their life. If they're working a normal 9 to 5 and they want to make some money on the side so that they can maybe just get some extra cash on the side to go on vacation or just enjoy their life a little bit more, maybe spend more time with their family, their children, maybe even their grandchildren, then that's ultimately our goal. So when people want to look for some passive income solution, some of them turn to something like financial markets. But the reason why most people end up turning away from it, and maybe why a lot of you might be very hesitant on it, is because there's a huge learning curve, even though there's trillions of dollars being circulated through it. And if you break off a piece of that, you can set yourself up possibly for life. The reason why a lot of people don't end up doing it is because there's a huge learning curve. A lot of the risks are intimidating. Like if you put money in there, there's a chance that you can make a lot of money, but there's also a chance that you can lose everything. And that all the effort that you put into it has a zero sum. There's also the time aspect. You have to sit down and try to learn and try to go through this learning curve. The amount of time that it takes to learn about this kind of stuff, about something this complicated and this risky, is a huge investment. And when people normally want to venture into financial markets, the people that surround them normally are people that are in their own sphere. It's not every day that you're surrounded by 5 to 10 financial gurus that can just help you move along your path and become like a billionaire overnight. So a lot of people that venture into this kind of thing in their own sphere of work do it alone. And they don't really have anyone that can really mentor them or help them through this kind of process. And so I kind of highlighted that here, just saying like, highlighting like the key pain points that it comes to trying to make financial markets something that you can find passive income in. So the way that we try to solve that is we have 3 different parts of our software that's a solution. The first thing is signals and indicators. So in every financial market security, there's like a price chart that kind of tells you like how much it's worth, and it'll go up, it'll go down. It'll make people like happy, it'll make people really sad sometimes, but normally people don't know there's patterns and there's trends that come into these price charts. And a lot of times it'll take you a long time to learn about this kind of stuff yourself. But with our company, the way that we want to help people is that we have expertise in finance. So we took that expertise and we put it into software and made them into indicators that are really easy to read so that you don't have to do any of that yourself. We have an online community that has a bunch of people. They come from all different kinds of walks of life. Some of them could be experts, some of them could be beginners. And they could relate to you wherever you fall within that range. But the thing that they share with everyone is that they're all passionate about financial markets and they want to maybe make some kind of passive income off of it. So you can be surrounded by like-minded individuals instead of trying to go out this venture alone. And most importantly, the last thing that we have is a trading bot. So this trading bot lets you basically trade the market on your in the background. So a lot of times people, even if they do, let's say you end up going through this learning curve and you conquer it, now you'll have to sit down and actually trade. If you have a normal 9 to 5, you don't have that time to sit there and trade it yourself. So we figured, why not let technology do its thing? It's so advanced right now. Why don't we give this to everyone? Why doesn't everyone have access to technology this advanced? So we put it into a trading bot. Just to go a little deeper into each of them, this is what our signals look like. We have a lot of advisors that help us with the kind of expertise that they have. They have a lot of deep knowledge in finance, and we baked it all into one indicator. It's very simple. You don't have to look at anything and get confused by any different lines or trends on your screen to kind of decipher what's going on. It'll tell you exactly when to get in and exactly when to get out. We made it as simple as possible. Try to simplify as much expertise into one little thing on your screen as possible. The next thing is trading bots. So we ourselves didn't build the trading bot, but we partner with companies that already build their own trading bots. So these companies over here, I kind of mocked up their logos, but we have a few more different corporate partnerships with people that build trading bots. Those bots can automatically trade themselves, but you have to tell it what to do. If you already have a strategy, you have to tell it what to do, and you don't know whether or not your strategy works or not, the bot will just automatically trade for you and then it'll figure it out from there. Sometimes though, if your strategy isn't good enough, that bot will start losing money for you. So we figure that we can use our indicator and put the brain into their bot. So they provide the muscle, we provide the brain, and then in together we make a trading bot. And that bot can trade you, that can make money for you in the background. You don't have to sit there. You just set it up at the very beginning, and then you just let it run, and then you can go off and do your own thing. Check back into it like every now and then, and it should make you money by itself. And the last thing is our online community. So to be surrounded by a lot of like-minded individuals is something that a privilege that a lot of people don't have in when they venture into passive income finance. So we provide them a community that has a bunch of people that are also passionate and want to find passive income in financial markets. And we write up research reports. We have live teaching sessions so that we teach you how this indicator works or how to set up your bot. We walk you through this whole thing. You're not supposed to be through this alone because we have the expertise. We feel that we're responsible to help you succeed in this. So we want to like follow you along down this path with you. And you can talk to any of the people in our community anytime. All of this online community, all the resources in the online community are free. So you can talk to any of the people in there as well as any of the creators of Tacbotz. If you have a question about our product or if you have a question about anything finance related, that we can help you. We're on 24/7. We'll answer your question whenever we can or as soon as we can. Yeah, so but if that's pretty much it. Thank you all. I just wanted to give you guys an update and hopefully inform you guys about our solution. If anyone is interested in financial solutions or whatnot, hopefully you can think of us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. So, question time.
Well, I got one question and one comment. One comment, it's a little thing, but on your very first page, you misspelled foreign.
Foreign?
Yeah, look at the bottom, left side.
Oh, wow.
How do you guys make money? What do you charge?
So, yeah, go here. So the signals and indicators, at first, we have subscriptions for signals.
Okay.
It's just a subscription base. So I think it's something like $10 or $20 a month. And we keep coming out with more advanced versions of our signals. So every time we do that, we'll up the price based on demand. And our trading bot has a separate subscription fee, or we have like an affiliation program with these companies. So you'll subscribe to them and then we'll get a cut from that, depending on how our partnership works. Yeah.
Today, like that crazies in Washington, we might default US debt. What happens?
Well, so when you default on US debt, I mean, obviously that sounds pretty bad and the market would crash, right?
Then what happens?
So if the market crashes, let me go. Okay, so if the market crashes, you'll see a lot of red, the price will start dropping. But the thing with our signals is that we can trade in both directions. You could make money not just when markets go up, but you can also make money when markets go down. That's the unique thing about the way that we work, is that most money market securities, like if you invest in it, you only make money on the way up. But if you sell on the top here with the promise of buying back on the bottom, you can make money that way too. And we give you the opportunity to do that. Yeah, yes.
Do you have a minimum investment in your platform?
No, we don't.
Okay,
So like we don't, because we get that, like, you don't want to put like $5,000-$10,000 into it and see it go to zero. So we allow you to put in as much or as little as you want, just to get a feel for it and see how it grows from there. We advise not to put too much money, like $1 million and stuff, like that's a little risky, but anything that you're okay with experimenting with,
so like
we
last $40, I haven't.
that could work. That could work. Yeah. As long as you cover the subscription first. If you cover the subscription first, then you can start investing it, and then you're good. Right. Yeah.
Related question, do you ever paper trading?
There's paper trading capabilities on our bots, yes. So the people that we partner with, they allow you to run these bots and put however much paper money into it as you want, and then go ahead and trade it. The one word of caution I will say though is that the results you get from paper trading aren't the same as real money. So it might work or it might not. When you put real money into it, when you put real money into the market and investors have to react to the money you put in there for real, that's where you'll see like what truly works or what doesn't work. So
So, I'm sorry. I have
Yeah,
another
go ahead.
question. For the strategies that you give the robots to execute, do you have to come up with, the clients need to come up with a strategy based on the indicators or?
no. Well, if you want to use our signals a different way, sure, but we have recommended ways to use our signals. So we have strategies already. And we recommend that you use those, but if you want to use our signals a different way, you can by all means. But we have strategies already.
That have been back tested?
Yes.
Representation. Looks like the main technology and the value is the bot.
What's up?
Bots.
Oh, yeah,
Trading bot.
yeah.
Great. So do you have documentation? Those companies who provide you this technology upon testing roadmap. I mean, the numbers.
Your roadmap of like what?
Trading bots, they have over 15 in their models.
Over 15 in their models.
Yeah, bias, like
Yeah.
bias, like.
Oh, with bias with data. Oh, yeah.
Just maybe just respond to that based on how we base it off live trading, not back testing, because that's exactly what it should be back testing and because you get skewed results. So maybe just talk a little bit how we started live trading, and that's where we collected.
Yeah, so the companies that we partner with give the legitimacy of their bots through their websites, and that's how we kind of vet whether or not we want to work with them or not. But what we realized was that no matter how many simulations that you go through, like the results are going to be skewed because you're not putting real money into the market, so you're not actually shaking it. No one's actually reacting to what you're doing. So it's very different from what what actually happens when you put real money in. And so we tried that. We actually put real money in, and we're testing that way instead. With every different bot platform we have different bots running on each of them just to test it. We want to make sure that what we're doing works before we really give it out to everyone. So which is why we're on a subscription base. We don't take commission or anything like that. What we found after we put real money in is that it does work. Like our stuff does work. We're scaling up how much money we're putting in, but we're putting like hundreds of dollars in at a time, and we're seeing steady results and profits from those. So we're trying to build a bank off of that. Once we get a database of that, then we can speak more on that and hopefully have more legitimacy that way.
Or you don't have any apps yet.
We do. It's just not. It's not like we've only been in business for 2 years, and I think that when we've been live trading those results for a few months now, so we've only got a few months of data, but we're working on building it up even more. Yeah.
What exchanges do the bots run on? Like for instance,
So Uniswap is for cryptocurrency. Our indicators, we do run on a cryptocurrency, but we are also on other platforms. You can apply these signals onto stocks, onto bonds, on foreign exchange and stuff like that. So we are working on the bot companies that we partner with. Their bots run on things like TD Ameritrade as well as like Binance and Coinbase foreign exchange currency markets too. Yeah, so those are based on the people that we partner with. Whatever their bots are run on, like it's based on them, and that's kind of also how we choose to work with them. Is how many products can they support, and does that cater to our user base or not?
Can you do the full range of stuff like margins and puts and calls and so on and so forth?
Not just yet, because with margins, puts and calls, options trading, that's a lot more risk that comes into that. So we're working on that. That's actually how we got started. We got started trading options, one of the riskiest horses to try to ride. But we are. Before we release that to all of our users, we have to make sure that it's risk-free, or that we're doing as much as we can to mitigate the risk. So until then, we're not supporting that yet, but we are planning to. Yeah.
How do you compare it to something like Betterment or what would be a competitive advantage? That's where you.
So a lot of the competitors that we see, they aren't. I think the one thing that I will say is that there isn't like a personal touch to it. So when you're coming into the financial markets, like it seems like a numbers game when it comes to money, but it's really just about the person and you yourself. You're trying to grow something that you've saved up for. This is your money you're growing. You're not paid. You don't get a sum of. We don't give you a sum of money to then trade and then you make the commission off of it. You are using your own money to grow. So this is a very personal venture for a lot of people, and that when our competitors sign on new users, there's not a lot of help that goes into like trying to lead them through this process. And if they have problems with the site, or if they have pain points or feedback they want to give and say, oh, I want this to do this instead, or oh, like I can't get it to do this. Can you maybe add another feature to help make it a little better for me? A lot of those companies don't support that kind of thing. And I think while we were trying to come up with what our business model was, we were subscribing to those competitors as well to try to get something going. If we found someone that was better than us, we would want to partner with them. But when we would try to sign up with these competitors, we couldn't really get past like the sign up process or something like that, or the funding process, because it was too complicated, or there was too many risks that they didn't address yet. So we also couldn't reach out and like talk to anyone. Either it was too corporate and it took too many phone calls to get to the top to reach someone, or their sites were too buggy, or their bots were too buggy that the risk was too high, or we couldn't get anyone to support our software or something. So that is one of the main differences that I've seen so far, is that we are devoted to try to improve our product as much as we can, as often as we can, to help with the customer. We're very customer centric. Yeah.
Scott, are you saying that what you're doing is coaching along with your site?
Yes.
Which is really different, because most of it's all totally tech and you don't know the tech you've done. Good.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. No, there's two sides to it. We want to help people take advantage of this technology, but we also want to coach them through it so that they fully understand it. We don't just give it to them and say, all right, peace, see ya. Like, we want to really be there with them. Yeah.
So right now, the big buzzword is AI.
Oh,
Okay.
yep.
And I see a tremendous opportunity here to add a little skosh of AI to your bot to greatly enhance, take advantage of other opportunities of what home investors need, right?
Yeah. So I think has anyone here been? You guys are familiar with ChatGPT?
Yeah.
It's a new AI that if you ask it anything, it seems to it knows everything. It'll give you the right answer right away.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that's everyone's first introduction to AI and machine learning. We actually have a few scientists, like machine learning scientists, that are working with us that are trying to get to that next step. Our bot can automatically trade for you, but we also want to put in machine learning so that it can learn how to best trade the market and then do that for you automatically too. So we have machine learning scientists, but one of the things that we pitch for other people for is we're looking for investment so that we can build out that arm of our business so that we can focus more on machine learning and AI and hopefully drive that forward. Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, so I just recently invested in a competitor of yours called Black Edge. They came out of Techstars Equitech in Baltimore. And what's really interesting about them is it's a very similar model. And what set them apart is that they targeted a very specific kind of investor. And I'm not really a very specific buyer persona that would differentiate you from somebody going to, for example, like a stash. Everyday investing is very, very simple. Who is your target buyer and how are you separating yourself from other AI investing techniques? So
that's a good point of feedback. We cater to two different kinds of demographics. The first one would just be your normal everyday retail investor. So individual investors that just want to day trade, we're investing with them. We look at those as our customers or as our users. But we also cater towards corporate clients that want to use our indicator and implement it into their own bot or their own AI or their own machine learning. They would take our signals and then learn off of that. We build different indicators for them as well to sell off to them. Yeah, those are our two customer demographics, but I did not go really deep into that in the presentation. So yeah.
He's gonna answer a question and then we have the last one.
Hey everyone, PJ, what up, the co-founder of Tacbotz. We wanted to piggyback on everything that Justin been saying. So the core product that we offer is the indicator that live on TradingView. So that's the main product. It pretty much help you trade the market. It work with options, stocks, crypto, and Forex. And we did the beta test. Throughout the beta test, we noticed that a fair amount of people will jump in for the first few weeks and disappear. Then when we started to do the survey and talking with them, they don't want to learn how to really use the signal. They want a bot to do it for them. That's when we pivoted and started building the trade bot per se that can trade in both directions, up and down. And how do we make money? So we have the subscription monthly model. They can pay month or get a yearly discount. So we have the business to customer, the retail side of things. And we also have the B2B, where we are licensing our algorithm to trade floors companies to help the traders make better decisions.
So one thing that I always consult with people on their presentations is that your presentation should only elicit one question. Let me cash your check.
Yeah.
So all your answers, all these questions that people are asking you, the answers of which need to be in your presentation.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and you got to do it in 5-6 minutes. Now, an investor presentation is 20 minutes. So the last question is, what can we as a community do to help you?
Pretty much help us grow, help us get our name out there. And I teach the Signal live every day for free from 9:30 to 11, options and Forex. And we do crypto live seminars on the weekend for traders as well. So it's pretty much just help us grow and help us get our name out there. We just secure seed investors. We are open for more investors as well to come in. We wasn't sure what the presentation would be today, so we pretty much did more like a product roadmap. So wasn't geared toward investors, but
okay, awesome. All right, thank you very much. And while I'm up here, Orlandopreneurs next happy hour is Monday night, the 20th. And we usually average about 150 people who are entrepreneurs, service providers, incubators, accelerators, investors, right? So we're looking forward to having you. Just go to meetup.com, Orlandopreneur, and sign up and you'll get our updates.
Same location.
That's going to be at Persimmon Hollow Brewing like it was last month. And next month we're going to be in Lake Erie at the Orange County Brewing.
All right, and then Shane had an announcement.
Yeah, earlier Shane, Tampa organizer, but now as Dr. Smith, Central Florida director for the Jim Moran Institute. We're part of FSU. We are a nonprofit organization helping out existing business owners, not startups, but businesses that are at least 3 years into it. So we know the concept has been proven. We've tread water that long. We put on a classroom environment at no cost of up to 25 business owners over 4 months. I'm bringing this up because tomorrow morning is our first class here in Orlando, across the street at the NEC. If you have questions and are curious about it or know of someone that might be interested in it, I have room. The more we have in there, the more community learning happens. So I'll stay around and would love to talk with you if you want to learn more. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you. And next week, we're going to have Rachel Loeb from the Rachel Way. We are looking for another speaker. So if anybody would like to do their thing, that would be great. You can download the chat if you're on Zoom, and if you want to get the chat from me, email me at eric.deckers@gmail, ERIK.deckers@gmail, and I'll send it to you. Make sure you join us on Meetup. That's, like I said, that's where we post our weekly announcements, and make sure you connect with somebody that you met with here today. And Sean, did you have something?
No, I think next week, I have about 8 people lined up.
Okay.
I have somebody who wants to.
All right, so if you want to speak next week, you got to be faster than 8 people that Sean knows, so. So anyway, but otherwise, when you do sign up, you get approved by Josh, and then you schedule your own appointment. It will tell you, these are the ones that are open, you pick that, so that's how it's done. And otherwise, thank you very much. We will see you all next week.